A random travel hack. Let's talk about it. So if you're like me, this is how I understand travel. I highly value it because the change in environment I found for me has allowed me to to remind me that whatever I'm struggling with is a smaller piece of the grand scheme of things. That's one thing. The other thing is that when you do travel to a new place, there are always going to be unexpected costs. And for me, I always wanted to be prepared for whatever unexpected costs are. And I also don't really like spending full price for airline flights. So one of the ways that I've been able to keep my airline tickets at lower than definitely lower than average is being willing to experiment with some of the subscriptions that different airlines offer. So, as of now, as of recording this video, I think the only subscription is through Frontier Airlines. And this, whenever I mention Frontier Airlines, I usually get, I hear the laughing or the scoffs. I'm just sharing with you what I've done. I can share with you some numbers of flights that I purchased too. So the Frontier Airlines. The airline is flyfrontier.com. So they launched a subscription that they call, funny enough, they call it the Go Wild Pass, the all you can fly pass. And how it works is you pay a subscription, you pay a one time subscription for either the year or for a season, whether it's a summer pass or a fall and winter pass. You pay that subscription, and then what happens is for domestic flights, you can book your flight starting one day before your flight. So if you're flying out on Friday, you can book your flight as early as Wednesday into Thursday at midnight. So the flights for the Go Wild flights become available. And how it works is instead of paying the full price for that flight, because you bought the subscription, you're getting the quote unquote Go Wild rate, which allows you to strictly pay 1 cent for the flight and then the taxes associated with that flight. Now, funny enough, it's actually cheaper with this subscription through Frontier at flyfrontier.com to get nonstop flights. I think the way the taxes work out is there's taxes for each segment of a flight. So if you have a layover, you have multiple segments, and there's also taxes per airport, I believe. So it's actually cheaper to get nonstop flights. So for me, although I live closer to the Trenton, New Jersey airport, fun fact, Frontier has a very small airport in Trenton, New Jersey, where strictly Frontier flies out of. Although it's closer, flying from there often has a layover, often has multiple segments to get to a final destination. Whereas if I fly to Philadelphia, which is the next closest airport to Trenton, New Jersey, there are more nonstop Frontier flights available. So it's actually, the truth is, it's actually cheaper to fly with the Frontier Go Wild Pass with a nonstop flight out of Trenton than a nonstop flight out of Philadelphia than it is to fly with a multiple segment flight. So at least one layover out of Trenton. All right. So, for example, how this most recently, I took a flight for um, I took a flight from Philadelphia to Raleigh Durham Airport for $15 on the way down and then $19 on the way back. So the $15 on the way down was I waited until the day before, and I was picking between two flights that I wasn't sure if I wanted a few weeks prior anyway. So for me, it works really well because I like booking my flights late, and then the subscription allows me to basically bring that price down. Now, there's obviously some. I say obviously there are disclaimers with this. I was joking with a couple friends of mine that they showed me a video of someone on TikTok that shared their hatred's a strong word, but their I don't know. We'll use a version disgust with the Go Wild Pass, and I kept joking with my friend. I said, "Well, if you read the terms, it's a lot clearer than you think." Um, and I do realize no one reads the terms, myself included. But for this one, I did read the terms, and the Go Wild Pass, something that the person was complaining about is that why can I book a full price ticket, but I can't book a Go Wild price? So remember I mentioned that the flights go on sale one calendar day before for domestic Frontier flights. So if you're flying out on Friday, you can book as early as Wednesday into Thursday when the clock hits midnight. So um, with that being said, um, the Frontier only allots a certain number of Go Wild passes per flight. So if you really, really want to get a flight, like you have to fly out on Friday, it's in your best interest to stay up Wednesday night until midnight, book your flight, and then go to bed. If you're willing to, if you have more flexibility, then you don't really need to do this. But there was one time where I really needed to get this flight on a Saturday, so I stayed up on Thursday. I tend to stay up pretty late anyway, but I stayed up on Thursday until midnight, and I actually tested it. I think 11:58 or 11:59 p.m. The Go Wild prices weren't there, and then at midnight I refreshed, and then all the Go Wild prices were there. So, for example, those $15 flights that I was talking about, they showed up from there. That's one of the travel hacks I've used. That's probably my most lucrative one that I can share. And I'm sure there's more to come. But as I said, I'm switching up the product beta. I'm talking less about and making less content about how to make content. And I'm just going to talk about things that are interesting, things that other people have told me, like, hey, you should make a video about this, or things of that nature. So I'm playing into the travel theme right now, and then I'll go from there. All right, talk to you soon.